Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, and we have very important halachas when it comes to the world of business. Mi sheyesh la'ezeh davar limkor. Someone has an item that he wants to sell. Asalo li'apaisa. You're not allowed to beautify it, to embellish its appearance. Kedei l'ramais bo, because you want to fool the prospective buyer. For example, you have an animal that you want to sell, and you give this animal the broth of bran to drink. Now, what does bran broth do for an animal? What does it do? It causes the animal to become bloated, and its hair stands on end, in order that it appears fattened up. It appears bigger to the person who wants to buy it. So you're trying to fool him. You're tricking him that you have a skinny animal over here that perhaps is not in the greatest of shape. You fed it this drink that makes it bloated and its hair stands, so it looks like it's bigger and healthier. That's sheker, that's falsehood. Or you have old vessels that you're trying to sell. You have a car. Let's say, take this, you're selling a car, and it's 15, 18, 20 years old, and the paint is wearing out. So what do? You paint the car in order that it should look chadashim, that it should look and appear to be a new one, so that the person who's buying it from you will think that it's in better shape. And similarly, any one of these cases. Now, of course, in this example of the car, if you have a car that you're selling is older and the paint job is no longer good, you are allowed to paint. However, the person who's buying the car has to know that the car is really 20 years old and it has 400,000 miles on it, and the tires haven't been changed in the last 5 years, and you didn't get an oil change yet, and it's just a new paint job to make it look nice. As long as you're honest with them, there's no problem with that. But to be meramit, to trick the person into buying something because you made it look newer and you made it look nice and you didn't disclose that it's really an older car, or it's really an old bike that you painted, or it's really an old house that you're painting, whatever the situation might be, in that case, says the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, you're not allowed to do such a thing. So too, if you're selling produce, you're selling apples, and you have most of the apples are good produce, but you want to stick some inferior ones in there, some low quality ones, just to make it a larger pile. And you also want that people think, oh, since the ones that I picked off the top are all good, then whatever apples I'm picking must also be good, and really it's bad, but you want people to think that they're good. Or you have a beverage that is not so good, and you mix it in with one that is superior, one that is good. However, says the Kitzur, if the taste of the inferior beverage could be discerned even after it's mixed, then you're allowed to mix them together, even with the good one, because the one that's buying it will sense that this is really not as high quality as it seems to be. However, he brings down over here in the notes from the Paiskim, from the Halacha authorities, that even in such a case where you could maybe discern, the seller should not rely upon the fact that the buyer could taste it, because he's not going to be that exact in his taste to understand, and therefore perhaps he's going to buy something at a higher price when he thinks he's getting all good quality, when in reality he's not really getting the best quality things. So again, we have to be so careful. We have to be so careful to make sure that in our sales it's done with ehrlichkeit, with honesty and integrity, that we shouldn't try to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. Sell it for what it is. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in charge of all of our money. He knows how much money we're going to make every year. Whether I cheat a little bit or I don't cheat a little bit, it never pays. You're not going to make any more anyway, and you're going to be transgressing many prohibitions every time that you sell something to another person. Wishing everybody a wonderful day.